Good game dev news. Finally, let's go. Finally, something to be happy about in the game development world. So let's just cut to the chase. GameMaker, the engine used to make Undertale, Hotline Miami, and many other titles, has just changed their pricing model. So to fully appreciate their new payment model, I'm going to show you their old payment model first, and then we're going to look at the new payment model. So for all these tiers, they talk about GX games, and I'm going to not talk about that because I don't think it's something that most people care about. If you're serious about publishing your game, you probably want to do it on itch.io or, Steam. The old payment model had a free to use tier where you could not export your games, which sucks. And then they had the creator tier to export to desktop, which was $5 a month or $50 a year, which is a pattern for all of these monthly payment options, where the yearly price is 10 months of the monthly price. And then there was a higher tier for $10 a month where you had web exports and mobile exports. And then there's the enterprise tier, which I imagine not a lot of people are getting because it's for the main advantage for that is exporting to consoles. So that was the old payment model. Now with the new payment model, it's free to start for non-commercial use, and that includes exports for desktop, web, and mobile. And for commercial projects, it's a one-time fee of $100, which, comparing it to the old pricing, was 1 year of the indie tier, which allowed you to have all of these features. But now it's only a one-time fee instead of a yearly payment. I'm not 100% what constitutes as commercials, like are you allowed to receive donations on an itch page, but they seem to be going off the honor system, which is pretty cool. This seems like a direct reaction to the Unity runtime fee fiasco that happened a few months ago, and even in their licensing agreement they have some jabs at Unity, such as there's no cost associated with the number of installs that your content can have. And also it says, unless required by law, it is not permitted to make changes to this GameMaker runtime license. In the event that a change is required, you will be notified as soon as reasonably possible. It's really nice to have good game dev news after the whole Unity runtime fiasco and Unreal laying off people and Unity also laying off people. So this is a major W for game developers. I'll be sure to link to sources in the video description for everything I'm talking about in this video. That's basically it, but this is such a big W for game developers. I'm so happy this is happening right now. Also, if you don't use GameMaker, this is just generally good for the game development space. The more competition in the space, the better. Though I won't be moving from Godot anytime soon, this is good for anyone who is using GameMaker right now or wants to switch from something like Unity. But yeah, that's not all. There was also some bonus stuff that was said by GameMaker in the replies to the post they made about this, which I would like to read to you now. So replying to their post saying that GameMaker is free for non-commercial use, the Godot game engine replied and said, "Great news for all game developers. Any plans on open sourcing next?" And GameMaker surprisingly replied with, "Stay tuned. Eyes emoji." Now this would be really cool if this means open sourcing the engine. However, I feel like this more likely means source code available or something like that, like Unreal does right now. I would love to be proven wrong though. Anyways, so next up we had a reply that said, "GameMaker, I'm sorry for pirating your software." And then GameMaker replied with, "It's okay." And then they replied back with, "I love you, GameMaker," smiley face. Now this is a major W. If you know anything about piracy, the best way to get someone to not pirate your stuff is to make it so accessible that it's easier to not pirate it. That's exactly what GameMaker has done here. So yeah, major W's all around. So glad to see this. Thank you for sharing this good moment with you, and thank you for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. On the screen now is a recording of my current game, Scaling Up Industries, which I am making with a team for the 2023 Game Off Game Jam held by GitHub. If this piques your interest, please consider checking out my website or my Mastodon account, and the links in the video description. Alright.